Hello, welcome to Paper Daisy Journals. I would like to introduce you to Angelique. Angelique has a very subtle wintry angel Christmas theme, and I was inspired to make her because I really love my Blue Angel kit, and I will link that in the description below. So that is how the journal came about. Here in Australia, obviously we're in summer, 30-degree heat with 95% humidity. So definitely not a white Christmas, although I do daydream about that. And I feel that my daydream has sort of been translated into this journal in a way. So I will just sort of explain what I've done with the cover. We'll start with the spine. So 4 signatures, quite a lot of writing space, but Angelique is very heavily decorated as well. And I have used gorgeous glass buttons, vintage glass buttons. You can see the beautiful fabric a little better on the back here. It is a medium weight, so it adds a little bit of structure to the cover. I have hand stitched on this piece of applique with some little glass beads, sort of like sparkles on a snowflake or on a leaf. So that's sort of what the back looks like and the reasoning for that. I also have some more of that applique with beads on the front. The pocket here was a piece of lace that has these beautiful dangles off the bottom, and I thought they looked like icicles, so I put that on the front, so that sort of drips down off the bottom of the journal. For the signature strings, I've used some antique glass and crystal beads there to give it a nice sort of little jingly sound. And for the closure, I was going to have a series of angels, but they didn't wrap around the journal very well, so I just, it's just flying out of my hand as if she came to life then. So as the feature on the front cover, I decided to sort of make this journaling card so you can actually journal on the back. I've attached a little blossom there at the top, and I've cut out an angel from old quilting fabric and stitched on some lace as a little dress. And I have used this silver floss, metallic floss throughout the journal, as well as this sort of bluey green, pale bluey green colour. This is an original piece of ephemera, but I've covered up most of the words because I just wanted the blue colour. And I've also used 2 very old mother of pearl buttons there to adhere this piece of trim to the actual card. And I've slipped that into the cover, and the way that it sort of stays, you can just attach it on this way, but I've cut a little hole in the lace so you can actually thread this through so that that actually stays on the cover of the journal when you close it, so you don't lose it. So I will just pop that there. I have an old crystal, chandelier crystal there because it just sort of, I felt, went with the theme of the journal. Okay, so that's what the journal cover looks like without the little angel, so you can actually swap that out with one of the other pieces of ephemera, or a piece of ephemera from your own sort of collection. So inside the journal, I have a pocket here that I have sewn some beautiful old lace to. And I have collaged the inside cover. I'm really enjoying doing that at the moment. So I've used vintage wallpaper, an old French letter, some beautiful hand-painted blossoms by Haley, and some gorgeous handmade paper from Heather. Here I have used some of the fabric from the cover and lace to make a floating pocket you can write on the back, and a tag from one of my printable kits. So I've just popped that in there. On this side, I've sort of used bits and pieces. This is a piece of ledger from 1923 and it had that beautiful blue colour. It's quite thick as well. So I've created a belly band. I've put some old music paper at the top and a really beautiful little angel in a wax seal there, and I've just coloured that in a silver colour to bring the image out. And I've used some handmade paper and a printable image to make that tag. On the back of the tags I've used paper. It has a very, very subtle blue colour because there is a story to that in one of my other videos. There were only a few blueberries left in the packet that was put back in the fridge. I blamed my husband. It turned out it was my 4-year-old child getting his step from the bathroom, scrounging around in the fridge and then just putting back the yucky ones. So my poor husband Tim copped a mouthful of, why would you put 3 blueberries back when it was actually our son? So I had to apologise. But I did use those blueberries just to see whether I could dye some paper, and it turned out okay. Very, very subtle. So next time I'll use a whole punnet of blueberries. Okay, so this is another digital page, and I've just put some vintage wallpaper up there to add some texture, and a gorgeous little vintage glass button there on a lace ruffle, and I just pin those on the back with one of those little safety pins, so it just sits nicely. I was using a bulb pin so they dangled, but I find that you sort of lose the button a little, so I've just started pinning them on so you can see their little faces. I've cut out angels from the Blue Angel kit, so they're sort of used throughout the journal, as are some of these blossoms. This is a vintage hanky that has been hand dyed, and I've put a book page that I've turned into a journaling card in there with some lace at the bottom, and that's one of the blue pages, so you can sort of see the difference between the white of the embroidered cloth that I use underneath, and there is a very subtle, a 3-berry difference in terms of colour. Some more of that kit. There is a pocket. Now I do have a thing, I don't like any bits and pieces left over from a journal, so this is a piece of fabric from the cover with a glass button, and I've just made that into a tuck spot and put it in a tuck spot, so it's a double tuck spot. I can actually show you what I had left from this journal, from making this journal. This is it, this little pile here, and I'm sure I will find a way of making that into something for the journal. I just haven't worked it out yet. Okay, so here I have a large, it's sort of a journaling card, but not really. I just loved that beautiful angel on the back there, and I've put a fussy cut butterfly, another piece of that ledger just tucked in here to do some collaging in the journal if you wish. This is an image from the kit with some handmade paper and some more of that music book, and I've just clipped that on there, so lots of journaling space underneath. There's the glass beads for the signature strings. On this page I fussy cut one of the ladies from, I think it's the Fashionably French kit, and I've stuck her on the page. The colour is, like I said, it's a very subtle sort of wintry, Christmassy angel theme. I tend to have mini kits in my shop because I like to combine different sort of themes and kits to get a more eclectic look in my journals, because I find that more interesting. So yeah, that's why I've sort of used different kits, but they're all keeping with the blue theme. Here I have a little lace bow at the top with a mother of pearl button for some decoration. And this is a gorgeous lace pocket with a little silk bow stitched on there. This is a wallpaper tag with some original wallpaper and a beautiful antique lace tag topper, and that's on in my Pastel Blue Kit. And I've just put a little charm here, made with love, because I do really put a lot into my journals, I've realized. And that's the other side. I think that is the La Villa Blue Pastel Kit. Here is an original telegram, and I just love the ticker tape on there, and I've stitched that on so that can flip up. You can journal on the back there, and you can journal on that page, and that's just a little snippet from my linen kit, and that's the back of that gorgeous thick blue ledger. This is that music page that I have used throughout the journal in the first signature. This is actually a little tuck spot here, which I thought was kind of cute. If you have a little gift tag from Christmas you'd like to store, an angel with some vintage wallpaper there, some more of those gorgeous hand-painted blossoms, and this is another piece of printed ephemera with a butterfly, a lace ruffle. This is a wallpaper tag with a pocket, and that is a printed tag. So where I have used space to create a pocket, I kind of like to balance that with the same amount of space on a tag, so you're not really losing any writing space. This is another one of those Fashionably French ladies I've fussy cut, and here I've pinned on another gorgeous glass button on a little trim tab. A tuck spot. This is a linen tag from a kit that I've just sort of put together in my shop, so I'll link all of the kits in the description. This is beautiful blue blank ledger. Another page from the angel kit and some fussy cut angels. And here I've done a little embroidered snowflake, just sort of a freestyle design. Hopefully it looks like a snowflake. And that's on beautiful wallpaper, and I've made that into a tag. So I've just tucked that into a little embroidered pocket there. Here is another piece of wallpaper with a printed piece of ephemera, some gorgeous eyelet trim from France. And on this tag I have one of my laminated collages with little forget-me-not flowers in it, which I thought was really sweet, and a bow stitched onto there. They're the original francs on the back in blue. This is a nice big journaling card scanned from a Christmas postcard, and I've just added a little piece of I think it was doily, fabric, linen doily, and just stuck some trim on. And I have decorated my little oh, it's not slipping back under easily. I've just used lace, just very delicate lace, to decorate those little paper clips that I love to use. This is actually a pocket up the top here. I had a bit of a mistake, because it was meant to be a tuck spot going in this direction, but when I sewed it on I realized that it was sewed on the wrong way. So that's sort of somewhere that you can just tuck something special and it can poke out the top if you wish. I've put some fussy cut angels on there as well. A little cluster that I've stitched on with a button and some braille and wallpaper there, and that's the back of that beautiful music book cover. This is a printed wallpaper tag with some velvet at the top I've sewn on with that silver metallic thread, some beautiful eyelet and a butterfly, upside down butterfly. This is a beautiful ledger from 1895 from the US, and this is from the Le Bleu Pastel Kit, and another gorgeous blue glass button. I do collect buttons obsessively. Anyway, keep going. Some more of that ledger, and here I have a little queen envelope that I have put a journaling card on and some lace and a little snippet at the top there. I've not put anything in the envelope, but that's a nice spot to keep some little treasures, and I've just sort of slipped that in that page that I've sort of just very gently stuck to that ledger page. It's quite delicate. That's also a piece of ephemera from the kit and some trim. Here I have a gorgeous antique envelope. I've just stuck an angel on the top because the stamp was a red colour, and it just did not sit in the journal very well at all because it has a very bluey green theme. But that flips out and you can actually tuck something in that envelope. It's still got the beautiful, very delicate tissue paper lining, and I think that's from 1912. So that I've just stitched that on with lace. So there's a piece of lace that's sort of joining that to the page. Another gorgeous piece of embroidered French trim there. Some more of those really sweet glass beads. Here is a Suffolk puff with a little button. I forget the simplest things when I'm doing these flip throughs. It's just bizarre. I've done a hand stitched on a velvet ruffle with a little flower, and that's some more of that linen doily. And this is a gorgeous postcard here with beautiful writing on the back and a gorgeous Mademoiselle Louise. And I would like to say that is Angelique because she really loves blue. Her favourite flower is cornflowers. This was actually a duchess. Forgotten which duchess it was because I have a couple of these cards, and that was actually her flower. So that was her chosen flower. Apparently they used to do that back in the 1800s. And this is a gorgeous piece of French trim that was hand dyed. So I've just tucked Angelique up there. And this is another envelope with my decorated paper clip. Piece of velvet I've stuck the angel on with the a little blossom, and there's a little ruffle at the back, but these are nice and big to put some treasures in, and I print double-sided, so there's no bulk with lining, and that just sticks on here. That's just someone going past with a noisy motorbike. Actually, they're putting up scaffolding. A house is being renovated right diagonally across from us, and I thought it was going to be really noisy, but they've been fairly quiet so far, which is awesome. If I can just get through this without having to do a voiceover, which is not something I've ever done, I'll be very pleased. Okay, so that's a piece from the Printable with some handmade paper, and this is also a tuck spot up here, so you can pop a card there, and that's another page from a book, and I've just put a little sort of ruffly decoration at the top there. Another angel postcard. I've got some black cockatoos coming across. You know it's going to be Christmas when you hear that sound here in Australia. It's not a very nice sound, to be honest. It's quite screechy, but it is one of those, it's a very typical Aussie sound. So there you go. Nice space to journal on the back, and I've just sort of hand stitched some little pieces on there, and a belly band there that I've threaded some silk ribbon through, and I've just put a little snippet of ledger at the bottom there just to add some more dimension to the page. That's another printable page. This is a quarter of a beautiful linen handkerchief that I've used as a pocket with a ruffle, a little hand painted flower, and I've just stitched on some trim with braille on that card, and this is some really cute old French bobbin lace, so that was handmade. You can sort of tell the difference between machine and handmade, because handmade, obviously the tension's not perfect, so it does tend to sort of twist around a little bit, whereas bobbin or machine made lace is very uniform, obviously because it's been made by a machine. But just if you're sort of collecting that kind of thing, it's good to know the difference. Yeah. And another tag from my embroidered tag kit. They're quite large tags in that kit. I've made them large because anyone that's sort of doing a big journal, sometimes it's quite hard to find large tags, and you can always shrink them down. But I've used a bit of velvet on the top there and some of that gorgeous lace. And this is an original French envelope, folded French envelope, so it has a beautiful sort of crackly sound, and it was the perfect shade of blue, really. Some more of the angel kit. Here is another embroidery. It's a little snowflake. I had actually tied this down so you could sort of slip something behind it, but I wanted it to sit over the pocket, so I haven't pulled those out because I thought that was quite fun when I snipped them off. And you've got your sort of image underneath, so you can actually snip this off completely and use this somewhere else in the journal or on another project, but that's one of my wonky snowflakes. I don't draw a pattern. I probably should draw a pattern, but you know, sometimes you should just go with the creative flow as well. So a fussy cut butterfly on there, and there's also a really gorgeous glass bead here, and I just thought that looked really sweet as a detail, just pinned on to that ruffle there. And a little bit of collaging. So I did use an original receipt from 1929, but rather than have it as a page, I've stuck it down onto this blue ledger, so it is a tuck spot, and I've used a beautiful piece of hand-dyed French eyelet and another one of those little doily printables and some handmade paper. And I keep trying to I do practice a flip through before I film because I don't go back and edit. I just go from start to finish. So I do have a little run through, like a little practice, and each time I've gone to turn that page separately, even though I'm the one that stuck it down. Another pastel blue printed page with some fussy cut angels. I made the angel kits. I have a pink one and a blue one, so that they can be used throughout the year because they're just so sweet. So I've tried to sort of not make it too Christmassy. Gorgeous pocket here with some bows and little flower, and this is another original wallpaper tag that I've collaged. And a little cluster here, just of snippets that were sort of left over, like the ones that I showed you, and I've just sewn them on or hand stitched them on with a glass button. That can be actually taken off and used to collage too, so I often do that when I get into a journal that I've purchased, move stuff around and use different bits and pieces. That is also another pocket on the other side there as well, so it's a nice big pocket with some collaging, original wallpaper and a little angel. On this page I have just more of that ledger and another little decorated paper clip, but I've hand stitched the word joy and stuck it onto this envelope here. So the blossom on the opening, and there was a bit of glue that came through, so I've just stuck that on, which creates a bit of strength as well. So that's a nice big envelope there, and the little hand stitched joy. So you could actually put a Christmas card in that if you wished, and give it to someone. Or joy is sort of one of those words that can be used throughout the year as well. So I've tried to make everything as versatile as possible. I'm gonna have some kookaburras now, maybe. So there you go. It's the full Aussie Christmas experience. Because I have my window open because it's really hot. So that's just what happens. That other sound is actually a bird. So yes, lots of birds in the garden today. That's good. A belly band that I've threaded some blue silk through, and tucked in there is another fussy cut Fashionably French lady, and this is a crinoline cross stitch, and that is in my embroidered tag kit. It's a big tag, and I was going to shrink it down, but I thought, you know, I often can't find big tags like that for big journals, so I left it big. And some beautiful antique lace at the top there. Another printed piece and a little snippet machine stitched on, and this is another embroidered tag, and that's stuck on the other side of that blue receipt. I just absolutely love the writing on those old French receipts. And the back here I have a little cluster of things, but that has also been collaged with that lace sort of pocket. Oh, and what I did was to create the pocket, which if I do them separately they tend to end up being wonky. I'm not sure why. So I've actually just flipped the fabric from the cover up to make a pocket underneath, and I've stitched that on. So that's how I sort of made that pocket. That's another nice big embroidered tag there for journaling space. And this is another tag here that I've made into a belly band, a card, sorry, that I've made into a belly band with a tag. So lots of sort of journaling space at the end. If you've run out towards the end, you've got a little bit of extra journaling space there. So that is Angelique. As you can see, lots of pages to write on, but also very, very decorated. That's a gorgeous side view there of all those little bits and pieces just subtly sort of poking out. And of course we've got all the dangly bits at the bottom as well, so she'll sit quite nicely, I think, on a shelf. Yes, so thank you so much for watching my flip through. I won't tie that around because I think I'm pushing it with the amount of noise that's starting to creep into the neighborhood now. So yes, I hope to have maybe a couple more projects finished before the family descend on us for Christmas. And I'll probably take a break over that week from making things. But I don't know, sometimes I like to escape into my little crafty world and close the door knowing that our child is being well supervised by all the rest of the family. As long as everyone's well fed and there's lots of drinks, I feel my job is done in terms of hosting. So who knows, this may not be my last sort of wintry cool colored journal because oh, it's going to be a hot, damp summer here in Australia, but that's okay. We're used to that. So thank you for watching. Bye.